Okay, so Final Fantasy XIV director Yoshida is ready to fix the MMO's difficulty problem, starting now. As the 14 patch 7.35 Deep Dungeon prepares to add more varied challenges to the MMO, we asked director Yoshi-P where else it might fit. Okay, so Final Fantasy XIV Deep Dungeon Pilgrim's Traverse is set to be a landmark. So I will say this, Pilgrim's Traverse seems to be an amazing piece of content. It seems to be really, really, really fucking good, and it appears that it's going to apply to everybody. It's going to apply to casual people, mid-core people, hardcore people. I feel like Pilgrim's Traverse is going to be an awesome piece of content. I think that if their goal is to start making as much content accessible to every type of player, then this is an extremely good start. I think the Pilgrim's Traverse, man, is going to be like super good. Game director Yoshi introduced a feature which will arrive in patch 7.35 as an experimental to test a few things we want to change with 14 overall. A big part of this is finding ways to make more content appealing to a wider range of players. So where else could we see that introduced? Okay, so this is really good. This is a really good design philosophy, in my opinion. This is a good mentality to have. At Gamescom, we sat down with Yoshi-P himself to discuss upcoming variant dungeon, ultimate raid, and when we'll see the Beastmaster job. Okay, while I wasn't able to make it to Gamescom this year, Jamie put my most pressing 14 questions to Yoshi. Okay. Yoshi is quick to note that the team is not currently planning to implement any kind of new variable difficulty into previous content. Oh, I see. Okay, well, no, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, this makes sense because why would they go back to like previous deep dungeons and try to redo all that? Nah, fuck that. Just, you know what I mean? With patch 7.4, we're working on the next installment of the variant dungeon. Okay, we're actually getting a variant dungeon. With the changes that we are implementing in Pilgrim's Traverse, we also... Oh, wow. We also will be implementing similar changes based on feedback in the new variant. Oh, wow. Okay, if you didn't catch the live letter, the gist is the difficulty starts out gentle and ramps up with a top in battle that you're able to moderately tweak the challenge. Okay, so they're talking about the Pilgrim's Traverse. Okay, so this is the important part here, guys. This is the important part, I feel. We will also be implementing similar changes based on feedback in the new variant dungeon. Okay, so let's just speculate for a sec, because sometimes speculating is fun. So let's just think about it for a second, right? What changes could they make to the new variant dungeon that could actually improve the system? So like, in my opinion, and I've said this in previous video streams before, is that one of the things that they need to do, they just need to take the variant dungeon, because the variant dungeon, in my opinion, is actually the best of all three. So you have variant, criterion, and then savage criterion. Savage criterion is obviously the worst. Criterion is good, but could be better. The variant is the best. And the reason why the variant is the best, in my opinion, is because it has everything. Okay, what has everything except for one thing? It has the story. It has a lot of bosses. It has different paths, which is cool. So the variant dungeon, I feel, is content that is very good, but there's virtually no point. The reason why I say it's very good is because its design itself is fun. Like, you have a story, you have altering paths, and you have many bosses. Like, you have what, like 5-6 bosses, and then like a secret boss or some shit? That's really cool. Like, I think that's really cool. The only problem is you can't change the difficulty. That's it. That's the only problem. So if they just completely scrap criterion, completely scrap savage criterion, just take the variant dungeon, just make it to where you can make it harder. That way it is for everybody. It is for casual players, hardcore players, mid-core players, literally everybody. That's all they need to do. You don't have to make it harder if you don't want to, okay? You don't have to. They can even make similar rewards from the variant to the super hard, except for maybe at the super hard, because obviously because it's super hard, you have to give some incentive to do it. So this incentive could be a variety of things. It could be maybe a mount, you know, maybe it could be a title, maybe it could be more and faster rewards from the variant dungeon, just something, just a reason to do it, okay? Because the variant dungeon in itself is very, very good content, but the problem is the difficulty, and it's not made for everybody. Savage level raid gear. I mean, it depends, right? It depends when it comes out during the life cycle. So like right now, if it gave Savage level raid gear, I mean, yeah, it could, but I mean, would it really matter? Not really. I mean, but yeah, sure. But I think the rewards in general in 14 are like really bad. I think that they don't understand the concept of rewards. Man, like at this point, honestly, I don't even think Savage level gear would even matter. Like people aren't going to do it for Savage level gear. At this point in the raid cycle, I don't think that they should even have Savage level gear. I think that they should have just really cool glamour. Or follow me on this, right? What if they put in currency, like a variant currency, kind of like the Fox leaves, and every single time that they put in a variant dungeon, they would update the rewards. So you don't necessarily lose out on previous rewards, but you also get new rewards. That is one thing that they could do. Like, there's a lot of other things that they could do too, but like, I'm sitting here trying to think, right, of what they could possibly do. And like, okay, do we really even want Savage gear? Like, okay, let me ask you guys a question, man. Let me ask you this question. Does anybody that plays the game actually care about the Savage gear now? Because I can't think of a single reason why you would. Like, you don't need it for the raid tier. You don't need it for the ultimate. You don't need it for next raid tier. What is the point? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure, they could put it in there, but I feel like that people would just rather want fucking glamour or some type of currency. You know, I mean, alt job, I mean, yeah, maybe, but at this point in the game, if you're like, let's say you're gearing up an alt, do people still need alt gear? Like, what week is this? Like 9 million? I feel like that anybody that needed any type of gear, those players already have it. So like, for example, let's say that the variant dungeon, it came out on 7.3, which is the same time that the 24-man came out. Well, then it would make sense to give Savage gear. Then it would make sense, you know, because at that point in the raid cycle, you still might need alt gear. You know, it's also really good to catch people up. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, look, I'm just going to say it because we're talking about it, but the 24-man should drop raid equivalent gear. It should not be 10 item levels lower. It should be raid equivalent. We're just going to say it, looping. Okay, now we got that out of the way. But if the variant dungeon were to drop on 7.3, then that would be okay, I think. Let's just hope that when they say we will also be implementing similar changes based on feedback in the new variant dungeon, let's just hope that they scrap Criterion, scrap Savage Criterion, and they just make the variant dungeon to where you can up the difficulty, call it a day, and that I think would be exactly what people want. I really feel that if they did that to the variant dungeon, it would hit every single player archetype, demographic, however you want to say it. Casual, mid-core, hardcore. Easy. Would be so good. Hopefully they do it. Anyway, patch 7.5 will bring the second installment of the Fork Tower raid. Okay, this is good, which has proven rather notorious. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay, the first part is mechanically involved and requires a large player count, which is exciting if you're able to organize high-end squad to come along, but means that most people will only experience it through watching videos for now. Okay. I love Occult Crescent's frantic battles, but I don't have the free time in my schedule to slide into a coordinated raid group in Prague. Okay. When the second Fork Tower raid arrives, says a similar system. Oh, okay. Okay. A similar system. Now, they did mention there's going to be a normal mode and a hard mode. We are working on providing several difficulties of the content to enjoy. Moving forward, the content that we produce in Final Fantasy XIV. So again, this is really good. This is really good news. This is a good mentality to have, is that moving forward for the content we produce in Final Fantasy XIV, it could be that we incorporate a scheme where there is a variable difficulty, or it could be that we prepare a selection of difficulties in advance, and the players can choose which difficulty they want to challenge. Okay, this is the general direction that we've set for Final Fantasy XIV moving forward. Okay, so man, this is so good. I feel like people are severely underestimating how powerful this is. Maybe I'm overestimating, I don't know, but I haven't seen anybody else talk about this. Okay? I haven't seen anybody else talk about this, man. Basically, this part right here, To me, this is very powerful, man. This is probably one of the most powerful things that they've ever said. This is the general direction that we have set for Final Fantasy XIV moving forward. So like just the fact that they are trying to, like with every piece of content that they're putting out, they're trying to appeal to as many people as possible. And because of the new direction, okay, it could be that the overall amount of content that we implement in the game goes down. But in doing so, we hope that many more players will... I think this is good. Let me tell you guys my thought. In Dawn Trail, so far, we have like the most amount of content, right? Like if you were to compare Dawn Trail's content, like I'm not saying the best, I'm saying quantity, okay? The type of content that is in Dawn Trail, not everything is for everybody. So what I mean is like they come out with the Extreme. The Extreme is for casual players, mid-core, hardcore, I guess, if you want to farm the wings. But basically what I'm trying to say is it's mostly for casual players. The Raid tier is mostly for mid-core players. The Ultimate is mostly for hardcore players, okay? So you have 3 pieces of content: Extreme, Raid, Ultimate. Those 3 pieces of content are for specific players. So the reason why I don't think that the overall amount of content going down is bad is because what if they released the Extreme? They released it like normal, but in addition to that, you could bump up the difficulty to the Extreme and make it mid-core level or even hardcore level. Let's say that they scrap it depends what we lose. Okay, so what could we lose that no one would give a shit about, right? Like, there's some stuff that we could lose. Basically, the overall content is lower, like the quantity of it will go down, right? So instead of 6 pieces of content, you're only going to get 4. But every single piece of content that is released is available to virtually everybody. That will actually be a net gain in content to everybody. Does that make sense? Basically, what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that every single patch, there will be something in that patch for you to do. Basically, it's not going to be a patch where oh, great, it's a 7.3 patch. That means that no hardcore players are going to give a shit. No mid-core players are going to give a shit, right? Okay, so imagine a hardcore player being excited about a 7.3 patch. Or let's take the opposite, okay? Let's look at it from the opposite perspective. Let's say there's a raid patch. So the new raid comes out 7.4. Well, in addition to normal mode, let's say you guys, let's say more casual players, they get something else. They get something else too, based on the raid. Every piece of content that they make is available for everybody. Now, could they fuck this up? Of course. Of course they could. It's Square Enix. Of course they could. But I don't think it's as bad as some people say. To me, it just feels like an excuse to cut stuff. I don't think so. I'm very honest about my opinions on Square Enix. I'm not being dishonest when I say this. This is what I truly think. I think that the concept behind this is very good. I do. I will say, though, on the same discussion, I don't trust them to do this. They're going to have to prove to me. What's on the chopping block right there? Cutting that second ultimate. Jesus. They're not cutting the... Okay, look, guys, look. I'm just going to say this. Listen to me very carefully. I have an inside source. And I've had an inside source for the last 5 months. I knew the ultimate wasn't going to be in 7.3. And I've also known that the ultimate was going to be in 7.5. Don't ask me how I know. I cannot reveal my source. But a little birdie flew in. A little birdie. And he said, seems there's going to be an ultimate in 7.5. Yeah, guys. I'm a second generation first employee of SC, and I'm telling you that there's going to be an ultimate in 7.5, okay? And if there's not, I will literally buy a plunger and put it on my head on stream. Anyway, going back to this, let me ask you a question, guys. Would you rather have patches filled with content that you don't play, or would you rather have smaller patches but you play everything? Because me personally, I would rather have smaller patches that I can play everything, and the reason why is because what the fuck is the point when the patch has a lot of stuff in it but I don't play even half of it? To me, I would want to experience everything in the patch versus like 3 or 4 garbage things that I'm never going to play. The problem is the general sensation that people don't trust SE to pull it off. That, if you are one of those people that think that, I agree with you 100%. But that's a different question though, right? Let's just focus on the concept for a second. The idea is great, but the problem is SE. Yeah. So basically imagine we get a 24-man, but then there's a version of the 24-man that is chaotic difficulty, and it comes out on the same patch. That is a banger patch already. Like already, it's a banger patch, okay? Now, let's say you put the Unreal, and then in addition to the Unreal, you have a version of the Unreal that is like as hard as a 4th turn. That is insane to me. I need to see them pull it off. I don't want to hear Yoshi-P say he's sorry anymore. I'm going to be real. Yoshi-P in Final Fantasy XIV has changed my fucking life in ways that I can't even describe. I would not be where I'm at without this game. So I'm saying this wholeheartedly. I don't care about your apologies anymore. I don't care, man. Okay? You don't have to apologize to people. You've already proved yourself. But what's more important is you fix the problem. And I'm not necessarily saying it's all Yoshi-P's fault or anything like that, okay? I'm just saying as a whole, we don't care. I want to hear how they're going to fix the game. Instead of I'm sorry, tell me how you're going to fix your shit. Tell me how you're going to fix shit. Because you, like, apologies are virtual, like, in a lot of cases, apologies are fucking meaningless to me, man. I don't care. Okay, like I would much rather someone say, fuck you, I'm going to fix the shit. Don't fucking worry about it. I would rather them say that and actually fix their shit than them to be like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so fucking sorry, man. I promise I'll fix it. And then they don't fix it. I would like to play this game where you are excited about every patch, and it doesn't matter what type of player you are. You can be a casual, hardcore, midcore. Every single patch, they release something that is applicable to, you know, they have multiple pieces of content. I'm not talking about just one content, guys. I'm talking about multiple pieces of content. All have different varying levels of difficulty. And dude, that is like something that I never thought Square Enix would even think of. But I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, this is the direction that we've set for Final Fantasy XIV moving forward. That mentality, guys, like, dude, again, just real fast, again, I don't think people are listening when he said that. When he said that he is wanting every piece of content to apply to all different players, that is a powerful mentality. Anyway, with 14, 8.0 and the next expansion still yet to be announced, Yoshida isn't ready to offer any hints yet, although he's happy that the team is on the right road to achieving its stated objective for Dawn Trail of offering more unique fights, okay? He says there's no set goal in mind for how this might evolve, but adds it's always the case that we want to provide a unique battle experience. And I think with the response we have had, we're making good progress with that. And we will continue to put in our efforts to make battle content unique as an experience for the players. Okay. So, like, man, look, you can say what you want, man, but Dawn Trail Battle Combat has been fucking stellar. It's been fucking awesome, man. This has been one of my favorite expansions. The battle content has been absolute fucking S tier, man. Fun fights, boring jobs. Yes, there's been a couple fuck-ups, like obviously the Fork Tower, but the battle content in Dawn Trail has been fucking awesome, man. Like, the first raid tier was really good. The fucking, all of the extremes have been fucking awesome. The ultimate Fru, that is one of my favorite ultimates. I love Fru. I don't care that it's easier than DSR. It's very fun, and that's what's important to me. So as for what's to come in the remaining post-Dawn Trail patches, Yoshida gives us a slightly clearer schedule with a few key confirmations. The next raid is going to be implemented in patch 7.4. Okay, this was assumed. We all pretty much knew this. And probably in patch 7.5, there will be a new ultimate. Okay, now this was assumed. I think that will also be quite a unique experience. So players who really like to tackle high-end battle content should be able to enjoy that. Those were already pretty expected. Okay, yes. So he acknowledges, yes, you should have expected this. You should have expected a raid tier in 7.4. Should have expected an ultimate in 7.5. Expressing more into that, there's probably going to be, you know, in 7.5, there's probably going to be another 24-man. There's probably going to be another Unreal or an EX. Probably going to be an EX here. These are common stuff. People should be expected. But one question that's long been on players' lips is when we'll get to play the second limited job, Beastmaster. For 7.4, we are quite into development, and we are making good progress on this. For patch 7.5, the new limited job Beastmaster is going to be implemented, and also the new Ultimate Raid. Because of this, it is extremely hard on the development team. The battle team working on a development is really at a loss. He chuckles. For 8.0, we haven't even announced anything, so I would say hypothetically, if we are working on it, it is smooth. Okay. Who cares about limited jobs? Let's talk about this for a second. This is just going to be something that some people are definitely going to disagree with me on, and to a certain extent, I get you, I understand you. In my opinion, I think limited jobs are a waste of resource. I think that they should not design them. I think that they are a waste of time. Now, I'm not saying they're not fun. I have the same mentality on limited jobs as I do with PvP. Now, my mentality with PvP is I think they should just get rid of PvP. Limited jobs and PvP are a waste of resources, and I'm going to explain why. Because SE does not have the means to do all of this. Okay? Yeah, I know, boo. I know, boo. Before you pick up the torches, okay, PvP is good as fucking super active. I think that our definition of super active is completely different, but that's fine. Before we pick up the torches and, you know, everybody hates the bald man for saying that PvP should be removed. I'm not saying that because I don't like it. I'm not saying that because I don't think people like it. I'm saying that because SC is incompetent. It has nothing to do with raiders versus PvPers. That's not why I'm saying it. For the PvP players in chat, I will say this. I think that they should get rid of limited jobs before PvP. I'm not necessarily picking on PvP. I want to be perfectly clear here. I believe in what I'm saying because you guys mentioned trust from SC, right? When we were talking about the concept of higher quality condensed content. And you guys were like, well, I don't think that SC can do it. We'll use that same logic and apply it to this. Do you guys really think that SC has the capability to work on limited jobs, all of the PvE shit and PvP? Because I don't. And another realization that you PvP players will have to come to realize eventually is that players that play Final Fantasy XIV, they do not play it for PvP. With those things bearing in mind, if we get to decide what things they remove based on the amount of players, the amount of, you have the amount of players, you have the amount of, like hype, the viewership, that type of stuff. Because one player tried to make the argument, shouldn't you remove ultimates before PvP? My rebuttal to that argument is no. And the reason why is because ultimates are everlasting content. They are constantly being done all the time. And the Twitch viewership is insane. One person brought up that the official PvP stream gets like 5K viewers. Okay, that's the official. Well, I get 10K. Okay, PvP is also everlasting. Here's my question for that. If they took away the battle pass shit, most people don't actually do PvP just for the PvP. They do it for that shit. Back when I PvP'd, I ran into some AFKers, man. Basically, what I'm trying to say is PvP is filled with problems. Now, you can make some of the same arguments for Ultimate, okay? You PvP to level up, what do you mean? I mean, that is good that you can do that. If that's gone, I won't PvP anymore. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm saying, is that let's say they took away like the totems or the rewards for Ultimate. More people would still do Ultimate, in my opinion. Now, I don't know this. I could be wrong. But more people would still do Ultimate just to do Ultimate than PvP without the rewards. Like, what I'm trying to say is that people care more about the ultimate fight than they do about the actual PvP. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. And if you think I'm wrong, then that's fine. We'll just agree to disagree. You know, because in the grand scheme of things, they're never going to remove PvP. And hopefully they never remove ultimates. But the reason I think this way is because SE cannot handle all of these different things. This doesn't have anything to do with me liking or not liking PvP. This has more to do with the fact that Square Enix just refuses to expand their team. I know some of you are excited for Beastmaster. And you know what, man? I kind of feel sorry for you guys. And the reason I feel sorry for you guys is because, dude, I can't even imagine how little you're going to get updated. How little Beastmaster is going to get updated, man. Because I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you excited about Beastmaster, Blue Mage only gets an update like every 2 years. Beastmaster is going to come out. If I were to guess, you're not going to see another update until like fucking 2 years from now. So You better, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. For all you Beastmasters in the chat, take it slow. I mean, when you play Beastmaster, don't play for longer than 30 minutes. You want to stretch this shit out, bro. You want to be on the same quest a month later. Trust me. Trust me on this. You want to do one quest per month. You do more than one quest per month, you're going to run out of shit. All right? I'm not kidding, bro. Also arriving in October is the crossover with Monster Hunter. Okay, I'm actually excited about this, man. I think it looks really good, which will bring Guardian Arkveld to the MMO. I think this is cool. My only thing is I really hope that this is like an actual extreme fight as opposed to that fucking dumbass fucking Rathalos shit that they had. I mean, the Rathalos fight was okay, I guess. It was okay. But I'm going to tell you what, man, the motherfucking Monster Hunter boys, yo, how many Monster Hunter boys were fucking, were eating good during fucking Behemoth? Because that fucking fight was a motherfucker. It was actually hard. Putting Behemoth at Monster Hunter was way fucking better than Rathalos in fucking 14. The only bad thing about Behemoth, man, was the aggro mechanic. I thought that was fucking cringe, man. But then they fixed the aggro mechanic with Safi Jiva, and I thought the Safi Jiva was quite a good fight. It kind of sucks they put Omega in the fight, man. I'm so tired of Omega. Like, good Christ, man. So many different Omega. Like, Jesus Christ. Couldn't they put, I don't know, something else in, like Bahamut or something else, man? I remember this fucking guy commented or something, man, and he was like, they can't put Bahamut in Monster Hunter. He's too big. Like, are you fucking for real? Like, dude, are you fucking crazy? What do you mean they can't put Bahamut in Monster Hunter because he's too big? It's fucking Monster Hunter, bro. It's a big monster. You're telling me they can't put a big monster in Monster Hunter? What in the fuck is wrong with these people, man? Are you kidding me? Bahamut is something beyond Monster Hunter? Oh, but Omega's not? What? You're trying to make sense of this? You're trying to put logic in putting a fucking monster in a Monster Hunter game? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? What do you mean Bahamut's too scary, but Omega isn't? Are you kidding me? Anyway, Yoshida confirms that the idea came about when he went drinking with Capcom's Yuya Takuda and Kaname Fujioka from the Monster Hunter team during Gamescom. Holy shit, man. Yo, what do you think their topics were? You think Yoshi was like, is your game still alive? And then they were like, hold on, where's those names? Hold on. This is them. They were like, nope. Maybe between the two games, you have enough population for one game. Ooh. Yo, that's pretty good. However, he notes that they had to wait until Wilds launched and the 14 team had to play it to figure out how the collaboration would work, estimating that the development process ended up taking about 5 months. Okay. Yoshida reflects on the Rathalos fight implemented in Stormblood. Final Fantasy XIV is not an action game. So the development of that battle was quite difficult. He says Arkveld has offered some new opportunities. We have put a lot of work and detail into this, and the development process has been very intricate. We'll get more details in September, okay, but he does hint. One thing I can say, don't pay attention to the cast bar, but look at the monster's movement. Something that certainly caught players out with the last crossover. Okay. I mean, that's cool, though. That's cool. But, oh, man, can you imagine if it was an extreme trial but had no cast bars whatsoever and you had to constantly watch the boss? That might be kind of cool, man. That might be kind of hard, bro. Yeah, we'll see. In closing, Yoshi really emphasizes his desire for players to get in and try Pilgrim's Traverse. I am very excited about this. When patch 7.35 hits, I want to get all of the feedback from players. Okay, well, don't worry, Yoshi-P. You will get feedback from me 100%. 100%. You will get feedback from me and maybe Lil Zames. Trust me, you will get the feedback. Whether you're a deep dungeon veteran, a complete newcomer, a hardcore solo enthusiast, or a savage and ultimate raider who might normally skip the feature, he wants to hear what you think of the changes. This is very exciting to me. Like I said, man, the fact that Yoshi and the team, they have a new design philosophy from what they said. They're going to try to make as much of the content more condensed and more available to all different types of players. So the goal being that every single patch, people are looking forward to every single patch. Regardless of what type of player you are, there will be multiple things to do in every single patch. And I think that that is a very powerful mentality to have. If they follow through with this mentality, I think that they will be very successful. If you've been thinking about returning to check out what's new, the latest 14 free login campaign is a great time. Where do you think 8.0's new story will take us? Are we set off to Marasidia or somewhere? I don't even know where this is, dude. Is this like Meridia, like in Super Metroid? Okay. All right. Good article. Good article.